Now I'm going to present to you the new decos, which I guess you guys have been seeing filtering through to the salons now. I think that you've probably seen quite a lot of the advertisement for it. So I'm going to go over everything because I really feel like the guys that came to the masterclass a couple of weeks ago, we really went into depth about how to use them all. So I'm going to try to keep it light, brief. I will give you temperature guides and lifting guides and things like that lightly this evening, but please ask me any questions and I'll try to think about where I use them the most in the salon. I've really enjoyed the new development. Still think about using mixables in with everything because there's a few changes with that, so I'd really like to secure that. So let's talk about what we've got coming up. So still called Deco, still in with our Inblonde. This is where we are at the moment. You guys know these and are really familiar with these. Yeah?
I should, if you don't mind me just jumping in there. So this is where we are at the moment, minus the cream bleach on this
Yes.
particular picture. And we have actually made all of the new bleach products, which you will cover, available simultaneously rather than waiting for some of these to run out. We've done that for a couple of reasons, because there is a size difference, as you will notice as we go through. So that's where we are. Some people can still buy, and these sizes in terms of 500 and 2 kg will be available for as long as stock lasts.
Perfect. So, and where we are is here. So, first of all, the first thing that I absolutely love is from this, with all this plastic, to this. Little sealy packets, everything's much more recyclable, it's much easier. And I really like this tube. Oh my goodness, the cream black tube is just much easier to use, much easier. I don't have to do all that squidging down, and it's just perfect for me. So this is where we are. What's the biggest noticeable difference is this is just one size. Daniel, are they 500? I can't remember. But they are just one size. We don't have the big kilo ones, do we? Are these 450?
No, they're 450, yeah.
450, yeah. So we don't have the big ones which had 4 inside. We have.
That's correct. So they're all 450, and the price is adjusted before we get to that point to equal the price when you bought them differently. So you can still buy them in 450 as you see them, or in larger, but it doesn't come to exactly, I mean, I think it's 185 or something like that. So 1.8, if you like, rather than 2.
Sure, but I think actually what I'm going to discuss with you today, you guys, is that how do you use them and where should you use them in the shop? Because now I don't have a particular favourite bleach, because everything I use now is depending on what I'm doing, what work I'm doing. So actually all 4 bleaches and the cream, so the 5, are in the salon, just because I use it so differently now, which has made my hairdressing different. So it excites me because it's constantly changing how you think about things, because sometimes we just have traditional blue bleach in the salon and that's that, and it's easy for that. But it doesn't do what we need it to do all the time, or maybe it's too strong on what we're thinking we might need it for. So now I think we'll have less wastage, and they're going to be designed and use specifically what the client requires. So for me, I think that's really good. All the products here are much more protective. You'll notice what we don't have is, you guys can see in our old packaging we had the red saying the mixable plus was inside. Well, all our products now, all of them, are much more protective. And we've upgraded 3 of the formulas. So if you guys loved the Deco Yellow, or the you'll love the violet one, you'll love it because it's even more protective. The blue powder that we didn't have any mixables in, it's much more protective. So that's your traditional blue powder. We're looking at here the ultra platinum, again upgrade formula, much more protective. So let's start looking through about 2 new products that we've got. So of course you guys have got now, I'm sure if you've been waiting for it, the Deco cream, black cream is really amazing. I'm going to show you how much they are protective, what ingredients they've got in there, Carol, as we go through. So these are the 2 new products, Cream Black Deco in the tube and Easy Light Deco. So something that's 2 really very different products. So let's go over them. As you can see, we're vegan first, gluten-free. The most important thing is that you notice that it's black, the actual cream when it comes out. We recommend this for regrowth and precision work, so regrowth near the scalp. If we're using this on the scalp, just let me remind you, you should not be bleaching anyone's scalp without using shield oil. The shield oil I should have brought with me is my most favourite product. With this new cream bleach and the shield oil, there is not one inkling of irritation on the scalp. It's amazing. Still the same, 1 to 2 with cream or Lux activator, depending on what you're doing, how thick the hair is, etc, etc. That makes a difference between using the cream or Lux, which I explain all and go into detail with on the masterclass. Lifting power still up to 7 levels, so that's no problem at all. What I love most is that it does have black pigmentation in, so it has that charcoal feel. It's got a great neutralizing effect as you go along, because you guys know that charcoal is great for whitening, and generally when we're bleaching we want to get the hair whiter. So traditionally we've always had we moved to a white bleach. Before it was always looking quite, when it's blue it's hard to tell whether your bleach is taken enough, have we left it on long enough. When you rinse it, it looks more yellow. With this new black deco, it's fantastic for really getting a true visual of when the product should come off. Okay, so a couple of the new pluses. Yes, we've got the charcoal because it's whitening and purifying. The active ingredient that's really now across all our bleaches is the apricot oil. We found that it's very protective and it gives you that creamy feel for the bleach. So it has a great emollient, so it's less drying. And what's really inulin is this chicory. So it's really moisturizing. When you rinse the product, if you guys use this much, so when you rinse the product out, you can actually feel how soft the hair is. So these are actually new ingredients that help with the protection, the moisturizing of the hair whilst we're lifting. So that's everything about Cream Black. Are there any questions? Because I know a few of you I've spoken to separately about Cream Black. Is there any difference? What about timing? Blah, blah, blah. Or are you guys loving it as much as me? Because I think it's really nice how precise you can be with it. Daniel, what's the price guide on something like this for the guys? So is there any changes for salon owners? I know it doesn't affect stylists, but is there any changes for salon owners?
Well, this one we're slightly different. It's a new product, but this one is, I just wanted to double check that I get this right. It's £18.65. That's plus VAT.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking that it's not that much different from what the Cream Bleach 500 was, the previous one. Yeah, so that they are very similar considering.
Yeah, okay, that's good, considering the new upgrade as well. So I know Carol's just asked me, can you still add Olaplex? Yeah, you can. So what do I recommend? Well, I would definitely recommend Mixable to add to the product. Mixable is our own Plex system. Have you used that before, Carol? If you haven't, please have a look. I think I've done something on the YouTube channel with the Mixables. It's yeah, she knows. Definitely, I would always recommend. I like to keep everything in synergy. So for me, would I use Olaplex or Mixable? Definitely Mixables, because I like the finished part afterwards as well. So let's have a look here. There we are, from this to this, and our neutralizing effect, and our more protective effect. So let's show you the other new product, which is called Easy Lights, which I'm really liking. I've used it quite a lot. It's a really easy product to see. It's a white bleaching powder, so it's recommended for freehand work. You can, of course, use it in foils if you need to. I'm scooting through these quite quickly, so if you are any questions, you can just answer. Daniel will talk to us. So what do we need to do? 1 to 2, or you can use this 1 to 3, depending on how thick the hair is. So if we're using freehand work and we want to make something easier to use and pass up and down the hair easier, you can use this as 1 to 3. This is the only product you're allowed to do that with in the bleach. You know how I am for measuring. So 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. If the hair is thicker, if you want a bit more of a flow, and I know some of you like your products a little bit more liquidy, this is Easy Lights and you are allowed to do that. And we recommend cream or luxe, whichever suits you the most. Lifting power up to 7 levels, of course. It adheres to the hair easy. It's easy to work up and down, and yeah, where you put it. So I really love it for some balayages because you don't get that where you fade it in or feather the product in, which I really like. This stays exactly where you feather it, so it's really nice. It doesn't grow anywhere, it doesn't move anywhere. Please don't be it prints, so you still need to put a piece of foil under it, so it's not got a casing where it dries and keeps active in there. We do have another product that you can use. Thank you, Emma. It's exactly what I was going to say. Would you use Malibu clay or no need to with this? You definitely need to, because it doesn't encase, so you definitely need to protect the other hair, otherwise it will print. A couple of the new pluses that work really nice. So kaolin, so is remillerizing. Get my words out. Here we go with the apricot oil. Again, very, very protective. So these are our ingredients. This gum, by the way, is what makes the product really easy to use. So you can start to see a few different ingredients. And if you do have a look on the Census website, it gives you a printout. You can print everything off and have your own guides to what you need. But these are really simple and really easy to find out if people are interested in lots of ingredients. So where do we want to use this? For those that used Zero Yellow for freehand work, this is for freehand work. You can use Easy Lights in foil, of course. Stop that, Jude, because your computer's going to go mad. What do I think about Easy Lights? What is the main thing that I love? Okay, so with this one, if you're going to use it in foils, please don't use any more than 20. It lifts really, really well. If you're using freehand and air work, you can use it with 30. So that would probably be my most important piece of information with this one. Okay, any questions on Easy Lights? I think it's pretty straightforward, but it really is great if you just want to flick a few little light pieces through, even if it's coloured. So I've used Easy Lights a lot. I think it lifts quite quick, by the way. Yeah, I really love it. It does lift quite quickly. Emma, is it good for you to use this one as well? Oh, great. That's really good. Yeah, yeah. So oh, thanks, Andy. Yeah, I agree. I like mixables. Okay, so yeah, and it's very, very clean. Yeah, Emma, that's what I was thinking. I thought that you might quite like this one. And as I said, you can use it in foils. So if you're highlighting regularly, it's no problem for you. You can do that, but just bring the peroxide down quite a lot because it's quite fast activating. Yeah, she uses them all the time. Me too. I love it. Okay, so what do we think about here? Zero Yellow Deco. It's had an upgrade, so the formula is definitely more protective. This is what it was. This is what you've got now. Definitely we've had an upgrade, and it's a much softer cream. If you get to try it, what I loved about Zero Yellow is it's like when you feel it, it's a really creamy powder. It does smell amazing. I love it, Dee Dee. But it's a really creamy powder, and now it feels even more like that. And again, when you rinse that from the hair, it's really quite moisturizing. It doesn't feel like a traditional bleach, so it's really lovely. Great for hair protection, so for delicate hair. And let me remind you that I love Zero Yellow Deco for lighter hair as well, so if they're naturally lighter. And if you still want some extra protection, please pop your mixables in because it's really fantastic. It's an anti-yellow bleaching powder, so it's got purple pigmentation in. Still keep it 1 to 2, no changes there. Cream or luxe, depending if you like your product thicker or a little bit more free. I like mine with cream because I like it 1 to 2, but I like my bleach to feel a little bit looser. So that's the best way to describe that, I think. And of course, we can get up to 7 levels if the hair will allow us, condition, etc., etc. And what it tells you here, it's perfect for complex jobs. So if you need to work a little bit slower, this is perfect. For somebody that's new on the floor, this is perfect because it just has a longer time, like it develops a little slower. So for me, this is perfect. So if you need to put your colour in and then put colour around, definitely go in with Zero Yellow because it's just timing. Here are some of the new ingredients. There we are. There is our kaolin again. We've still got our argan oil, and that's what gives you that lovely feel of the product. So we've also added apricot oil into it, so now you can see how much more protective that is. And I would definitely agree with adding more mixables if you've got that delicate hair that you're using. If you love Dust Plus, that's me. I loved Dust Plus. I've now moved over to Zero Yellow, and for my very sensitized hair, I've added mixables to that too. Any questions on that? I mean, Zero Yellow is a beautiful product anyway, and it's one of those ones I think you just need to have in the salon. Slow work, lighter hair. It's very, very different. Are we all good with there? You know me, Daniel, I've started talking. Am I good for time, Daniel, too?
Yeah, I think you are running pretty good on time. So there's no questions I can see. I know you can see the chat as well. I was just monitoring some Facebook groups and see what was happening in there. Yeah, no, great job. Makes perfect sense. You're doing good.
So let's have a little look now. Here we are, Zero Orange Deco. So this is probably our most traditional blue powder. So for you guys are old school like me, blue powder is just so traditional in hairdressing life. And Zero Orange Deco is probably for that. So this is what it was, this is what it is. It's definitely an upgrade of the formula, and it's definitely better for hair protection, which is great. Stop double clicking, Jude, because otherwise you'll flick the page off somewhere else. It's great, absolutely fantastic on hair that is already coloured. So for me, I really love this product if I'm working on darker hair, or if I'm working through hair that's coloured already and I need to take my balayage or my foilage up a little over coloured hair. This works for me really, really well. And I love the fact that it's even more protective. Again, you can add mixables to this, so that's not a problem whatsoever. Keep adding. When we talk about neutralising the orange yellow reflection, something I was mentioning is a very light blue pigment that's in the bleach, and it doesn't start reflecting that until the hair is lifted to about a level 9. So if you're using 0 orange bleach and you're only lifting to a 7, it's not going to neutralise at a 7, this 0 orange bleach. So that's really important, because that's the same with the 0 yellow. I think sometimes some of the questions I've had is like, I use the bleach but it still looks quite orangey or quite yellowy. It will do, because the reflections don't start showing until we get a little bit lighter with our hair or with the product. Same 1 to 2 as all the other bleaches apart from Easy Lights. Cream, Luxe Activator, whichever you prefer, how you like your product. It's a great product if you've got a short working time. So if you want something fast acting, this is a fantastic product for that. So a couple of different and new ingredients that we've added. So macadamia oil, so great for conditioning, and the corn proteins, again, great at conditioning and a great emulsifier. So it really helps with the product moving into the hair really well. Any questions about 0 orange? Are you happy? You guys know there's not too much change with that, so you guys know where that really kind of sits, I hope. Yeah? Yeah. Happy.
No questions.
So let's talk about the last one, which everybody loved when it came out. So Ultra Platinum. Hopefully you guys is your favourite. Yeah, it's a really, really nice product. And it's had a lovely upgrade as well. So there it was. Here it is in the new fabulous packaging. It's definitely better at protecting. Now, remember, when we talk about lifting 9 levels, I really want to say to you, yeah, it does lift 9 levels, but if the hair is already, you know, an 8, it's not going to lift 9 more levels on top of that. The hair will be at home in a little bag. So think about, yes, it's for your darker shades to really help boost that lifting power. So this is with charcoal, so it's got our grey bleaching powder, so it's great for intense lightening work. Again, cream or Luxe Activator, still 1 to 2. 9 levels of lift there. It combines, yes, so you can actually see that. So that's what I was going to say, the grey pigmentation, when you're lifting and it's going lighter, you can see that really well, so you don't take your product off too soon. So I know you've said you'll miss the plastic boxes. We use them for section. Yeah, I know. We use them all the time. Well, you just got to keep them now. So just, you know, don't recycle them anymore. Keep them in the salon. But I love what they've done now. I think it's really good for waste. Lots of people don't use them all the time. So yeah, but I do love the new packaging. So let's have a little look. Ingredients: charcoal, of course, apricot oil. You've noticed that is an ingredient all the way through our bleaches now. So they really really help with protection and lifting. And the last one, which is a new ingredient for sensors to use, is the babusu oil. this is quite a new ingredient, Daniel, isn't it? I know that you like your science stuff. Have you seen this in some of the other ones?
When you say the other ones, what do you mean? Sorry, I was
like
eating some.
our other products. I can't think where this particular oil is in our other products, because I think this is quite a new ingredient for us.
That's right. It's to my knowledge, that it's not included in any of the other Sensus products. And
apricot
but
oil, that's a really new ingredient for us too, isn't it?
it is indeed, yes.
Yeah.
Although I should say this, anyone who is interested in that and want to Google it and see the whereabouts of that in other products is really interesting. So it's not brand new on the market as such, but it's
No,
certainly
of
brand
course.
new new for Sensus, and it's exciting. Yeah. I
Yeah.
like these little upgrades. I'm sitting here, I'm listening, and I'm looking at some of these ingredients. And initially, I'm sure many here, like me, I thought it would be a like for some of these. It's really nice that apart from the upgrade on the packaging, that we have these little tweaks in terms of ingredients and moving forward. It's really pleasing to see.
Yeah, I think just for you guys, we've been thinking about the Deco um, black cream for quite some time. So I know that we've been working on these products a lot to get them at their maximum capacity for condition. They've had a really nice upgrade. And the addition of easy lights of that fast action is insane. I think it's really, really good. So let's have a look. Some of the things I really wanted to tell you is I wanted to give you the comparison sheets quickly, because I think you'll like these. I can see you two on there making me laugh. Right, so these ones are the most important. So let's have a look at time. So we're going to talk about this is done with 20 volume, by the way, so they're all done with the same level of peroxide, and then we can just think about how quickly they work. So that's the new cream black. It's a little faster in action, so we have to think about our precision work and how we do that. Let's look next at easy lights. You can see how much faster that is. So think about your balayage work. Do we need that to be quick? Do we need something a little slower because we've got corrective work? So this makes a real big difference to me where I use them, and I'm really glad because I've got them in the smaller packets. I've actually got all of them, and so now I'm starting to think about using them very, very differently. I mean, I always loved having all of the bleaches for fine hair, for this, for what I needed, but now it's even better. So the last two, of course, as you know, Zero Orange and then the Ultra Platinum. So you guys, that will give you the time factor with 20 volume for all of them. Look how much faster, and you can start to put that into where you need it. The last one, which I think is really interesting, is to look at 10 volume and how fast if you use 20 volume, 30 volume. Look how quickly 30 volume in the first part. You know, I'm always talking to you guys when you use 10 volume or 20 and you need to reapply your bleach if you need 1 or 2 levels more lift. Think about when I say to you, please don't use 30 in the packets, because you still get there, but look at how much faster that first bit is. So if you get to that quite quickly and you only need to get to, you only need like 3 levels of lift maybe, or 2 levels of lift, please don't just use 30 volume. Really start reducing what you're using, because otherwise you can see how quickly it doesn't give you, yeah, definitely low and slow always. It doesn't give you what you need. So we have to think about, and me having a heart attack about using 40 volume with bleach. No, never. We put that in because, of course, other countries, they are allowed to use that. But let me remind you, in the UK, we are not allowed to use 40 volume with bleach ever, anywhere. Even on open air work, please don't use it. So that, there we are. I love it. It's forbidden. So there we are. So that's really, really light on the new Inblonde Decos. We have the same easy guide for you, or if you want more technical stuff, you've got your technical guide, and you can find both on the Sens website. You have these easy guides, Daniel, and technical guide
So I'm
in
just
paper form, or are
thinking.
you heading everyone to the website?
So I'm trying to think. Actually, we most certainly we have them in digital form.
Okay.
No, I think these the Inblonde these are not the shade guides, right? Now these are available. The shade guides is what's delayed. Thank you. So yeah, these ones are available.
Okay. So how are we doing? Is everybody still here? Are we still going okay? So everything's good, because I have one new product to tell you about, which I really love. And you have
That's,
to tell me, Daniel, if it is available now.
is it the product? I think you're going to tell me. Let's have a look down here. Yeah, that's not available yet. So
Okay.
that product is on the way. Actually, it's in transit. So that product will,
Oh.
depending on custom border heat and all other excuses that we're getting from shipping companies at this moment in time, all that excluded, that will be with us very shortly. It's in transit.
Okay, so I'm just going to answer that little question there. What bleach do you recommend for thin, light hair? Would definitely be my Zero Yellow, the purple powder one. I think it's perfect for very, very fine hair and light hair. It's really good. Yeah. I do have a drink handy. It's water for now, but we'll, once I start talking, if I had a glass of wine, it'll be even faster. So better I stick with water, especially for the new product that's on its travels to us now. So I can definitely talk about it. Let's talk about Zero Deco. So this is because we've just talked about bleaches, and now we're talking about a lightening cream that has no bleach in it. He knows I talk too much, I know. So all the bleaches we've covered, and now we've got Zero Deco, meaning no bleach in the hair. So this is a very delicate lightening cream. May I just say to you all, this will not replace lightening oil, because if they move lightening oil, I may just have a hissy fit, but they're not. It's not replacing. It has two completely different things. I know. Don't ask. It's not replacing it. It's adding to it. So lightening oil is very, very different because you can add bleach with lightening oil, and you can increase slight more delicate lifting with a little bit of bleach for lightening oil. So that's not going to move because it has its place and it's perfect. But let's talk about Zero Deco and why we would use it and how we would use it. So it's a really, really gentle formula. So I think there is a little image. Let me take you to that first. Here we are. So you can see here how very, very soft it would be. First part would be to recommend that on somebody who wants a little bit of lightening but has never coloured their hair before, or just really soft pieces, or somebody that has very, very fine hair. Yeah, absolutely, definitely, Emma. Or somebody who you've said you can't have bleach because your hair is really delicate and you really can't do that. So you can use this in foils, you can use it on natural hair, you can use it on coloured hair, and you can of course use it for freehand. It's really, really beautiful. It just gently lightens without bleaching. So sometimes we have clients that are like, oh, I've been to a hairdresser's and they've used a lightening product, it's got no bleach in it, and it's about 5 shades lighter, and you want to go, yeah, but you can't say that. But now we actually have that alternative. No, it's not going to lift huge amounts, but we can start lifting that process. We can start thinking about being really gentle with lifting actions. So 1 to 1, 1 to 1.5, sorry. And Zero Deco is used with 40 volume. We only use it with 40 volume. Is the lift warm? Yes. Whenever you lift hair, it's warm. So even if you have anti-yellow and anti-violet, whenever we start lifting, it's warm. It will be cooler and less warm the lighter the hair is naturally. But it's all about our undertones and what level we're lifting to. But this is with 40 volume, because remember, this is zero deco, so it's got no bleach in it, no sulfate as a bleach would be. So it's very, very different. With foils, 1 to 2. Freehand work or without foils, so you can do the same, 1 to 2. If we want to use some freehand work and we need it to be a little bit more precise, you can mix it with 1 to 1.5. It's a really beautiful, easy product to use. Let me show you how you would use it. Fine hair, medium hair or thick hair. If it's coloured hair, you'll get really a good lift on very, very fine hair. Medium hair, medium lift. Thick hair, you want the product to be 1 to 2 on thicker hair as well, and it will just be a very subtle lift. Yeah, we talk about dominant pigments. It really just depends on where you are. So if you're starting on, a 5 and you're just going to get a very soft amount of lift, your undertone on that is probably going to be orange, but then you can neutralize. So think about, what you're using this for. It's very, very gentle. Please check the lightening process every 15 minutes because it's ready to come off when you're ready for it to come off. And also, top tip, use on a level 5 and higher so that you don't get that really strong red-orange undertone. The good thing about this, and this is out, remember, because it's zero deco, we can use a little heat if we need to. And what's really great about it is you can leave it on up to 80 minutes. So if you were using this as a corrective environment and you needed to use, you've got very, very thick hair, you could leave that on. We don't recommend it for the scalp. It wasn't created for being used on the skin. It's a product to be used in foils or freehand and away from the scalp. And remember, it's with 40 volume that you need to use this product with. So a few little things here. Where would I use this? Will I get much lift? So maximum amount of lift here. Would I use it for freehand on coloured hair? No, I think if you wanted something very subtle, you could. So for example, if I just wanted to lift it a shade, then yes, I could. But if I want a little bit stronger, you need to put it in foils. So you can see the different types of ways that you can use this. What are the advantages? We can use it with all application techniques, foils, non-foils, freehand, however you want to use it, mesh, those little weird sheets, I can never remember what they're called, but you can use it with those. It's got great protection and it's hydrating whilst you're lifting, so really great for keeping that condition for the hair. And you take it off when you need to. So it says optimum control of residue reflex, so we're talking about the undertone there. So it's very gentle lifting, very soft lifting, so we can control it a little bit better. As we said, it's a lightening power, but it's for sulfate free, so it has it's very, very delicate. Where am I going to use it? It will work peacefully on fine, fragile and sensitized hair. So very fine hair for me that we really don't want to use bleach on, but we want to be able to get that lifting. And we wanted a bit more control for foiling and things like that, where we couldn't use lightening oil, for example. This would be perfect in place of that. So we really are thinking about filling all the toolbox. You know, we talk about before having a great color toolbox so that we can tackle everything that we need in the salon. This is it. This is what we can do with that. So here is our ingredient that has popped up again, our new ingredient, which is in our Zero Deco. And what we said before, the babusu oil is protective and keeps the hair really well hydrated. So I'm really loving that. Let's just think. Any questions on that so far? Do we like it? Great. No more questions. So it's on its way, and I think that will probably fit in really nicely of where we need it. By the way, it's really great for banding, really great for just lifting one tone, or sometimes, you know, when you've gone from highlights to an all over colour and there may be a couple of little areas that you've seen that are a little bit darker, you could use this product as a protective ingredient and being able to remove last bits of residue of those warmer bits between the highlights. So it's amazing for a few corrective works. Anyway, that is me, I think, ta-da, on Zero Deco, if no one's got any other questions.
Fantastic, Jude. Thank you so much. I can't see any questions, but there might be someone typing. So just to confirm, the Zero Deco is in transit as well. We have already said that was the previous product, so this should be with us next week. Just want to do, first of all, thank you everyone who's logged in. Jude, thank you. You was fantastic.
Thanks, Daniel.
I want to just give everyone a heads up and a reminder that I think these webinars are great. And when we do webinars, when Sens do webinars, they certainly have a time and place. But I think it's only so much you can do, as I'm sure you can all relate to, on a computer screen and sitting in different parts. So they're helpful, they're really good. But I do encourage anyone who wants to have a more deeper look in certain things. And if you haven't explored the Academy in some of the classes, I encourage you to look early and book, because the classes are booking up. And I'm not telling you this in some sales pitch to get you to book in. I'm telling you because the challenge is we are already fully booked on most classes. And I hate the idea that some of you guys might miss out. So keep an eye out for, if we, I think we're going to release some more spaces. So that's just a heads up. Jude, you're back in only about 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, I am.
With masterclass, so that's great. And masterclass is probably the most comprehensive, of course it is masterclass, it's the most comprehensive insight in terms of all Sens products. And Jude has already done one of those since we opened up again. And what I will say for everyone who hasn't been to Italy, it's not Italy in terms of the full package experience. We're not serving you red wine. We do have the weather at the moment, and the food is slightly different, but the content and the person delivering the content, Jude, is the same. It's a tremendous class. So if you haven't been, book it on. If you can't book it on because it's fully booked, because I think it is, keep an eye out for any dates we might release. And you can find this webinar in sections on the YouTube channel in the next few days. We're just going to get it downloaded, get Declan on it, and then you can revisit.